a singer I had met who was in the cover band circuit, and we kind of knew that that was a dead end, and we also knew that we kind of wanted to write some material, and so kind of simultaneous with oh yeah, there's some stuff I wish I could get into here. I mean, some of these graphics.
We do have that. There's a video, a brief video that was from a documentary of Juggernaut. I've got a tape that's sort of queued up.
But yeah, Juggernaut was kind of like my first original band. That was kind of mine, because the Autobot experience was definitely Scott's vision, and I loved playing in it and contributing and singing. But Juggernaut was called Love Kid at first, and it was very much influenced by Living Colour and Fishbone and the Bad Brains, and some of that.
Juggernaut, their new release, Black Pagoda. It's an uncompromising shredfest of the highest order that'll tear your head off. Juggernaut, Black Pagoda, available now at these fine locations on Pandemonium CDs and cassettes.
When I was 5 years old, my dad and mom asked me what I wanted to do because I really was into athletics. They asked me, well, do you want to play music at all? And I said, yeah. They said, well, what do you want to play? And I said, well, I want to play drums. So you know what they tried to do? They tried to force you into that piano bit. Well, then you have to learn piano and all those other gay instrumentation things. I just said, okay, so I took piano for like a week and just stopped playing until I got my drum set, and then I started playing drums.
But this is the first band where that real punk band, we were going to go through it, we were going to go for it. This band released a couple records, and
my part is mostly just riding on top, surfing along. And every band that I've played in has been different. And this band's, it's pretty cool.
But there was this band with
Was there a point in your life where you decided, oh God, I just want to be a bassist in a rock band, or full-time musician?
I was probably about 14. When you really know what you want, when you're 14, that was
supposed to be.
That's about it, It just got more gradual, it got more clear that that's what was going to happen.
This band was fairly successful in the Twin Cities, in more of the heavy circuit. And really this band kind of ended in a weird spot where I became very disillusioned with trying to make it. I mean, it's all like standard, check it off the list, But it was a group of guys that I loved, and we went for it for 4 years or whatever, and then I got into kind of a dark phase, but at the same time I got very serious, like way over the top serious about I'm not going to play any commercial music. I have to play stuff that has meaning and is not disposable, and so I basically ended. You can see. Oh God, that's really intense. Transcendental superhighways of cosmic love. All this stuff was inspired by a run-in with psychedelics that I had in 1993. And this band that was kind of like it sounded like Soundgarden or a Seattle grunge band got very strange and weird. And eventually I kind of tired. It wasn't extreme enough, and I felt there was some weird business things, blah, blah, blah. And I got really, really into really hardcore free jazz. And before it was more like bop and post-bop, Charlie Parker, earlier John Coltrane, being really, really down into it. And then at this point, it was kind of this more dark thing, and there was this whole period of jazz that I didn't get when I was younger. And for some reason, being in this weird, darker mindset, I got more into just pure improvisation. And like there's a Sun Ra track, if we want to just listen real quick, and then this stuff kind of This is just from a Sun Ra record. It's a concert for the Comet Cahutek. And this is just Sun Ra. If you know Sun Ra, an incredible band leader, almost impossible to describe in just a few sentences. But him, I'd say this is early 60s. And him just solo synth. But it was things like this that I was really into. Albert Eiler. And then around this time, I mean, he just goes for it. This is like 10 minutes of, it's incredible, but it was amazing. Then around this time, Mr. David King, who I had played in a band with kind of, but never really met, moved back to the Twin Cities. You know, he gave it a go in LA, and I think in his own way, he had a certain amount of disillusion or just got sick of the California thing and trying to make it. You know, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth in a way, but came back and like, let's do an original. I think he had some original music he wanted to do. This is like in the first year of Happy Apple. I think we had played somewhere in Uptown. And that's kind of how I looked. That was like the fat Elvis, like Jim Morrison with a beard phase for me. Like, I'm just gonna grow the beard and be pious, you know? And I played in a couple of groups with Dave in the mid-90s, and then he started Happy Apple with Mike, and eventually I was asked to join Happy Apple. They had had a few lineups, and one of my groups at the time, Casino Royale, kind of a hip-hop, acid jazz, improvisatory group, had played a couple of gigs with Happy Apple, and it was very, very different scene from what they were doing, but I think Dave knew that eventually maybe it would be that we would play together in kind of a permanent scene. And this is kind of going back to where we started about where you first saw me play, right? This is the one thing I did like about this record is recorded in one day, recorded live, in a house that had a fire, and they rebuilt it, and the only thing that was in there was just some power, and there's no furnishings or anything. We just recorded this.
At the end of my rope again. I'm at the end of my rope again, looking for patterns in the fray, hoping when my stay reaches the finish, diminish the semi-dramatic.
Oh yes, this is Slug.
When can I have it? All the senses are alert. I flame torch my fear for
some early Slug.
Save the tenseness for dessert.
Yeah, I was wondering if this is like maybe one of the first things with him on the CD.
I don't know what it is. Maybe
This is 95 or 96. So the Beyond record came out, which is the first CD that he was on. So.
Yeah, it was a very strange time for me because in one sense I had part of my head in this very aggressive, free, uncompromising music, and I would just record myself on a 4-track and just go for it. And I did a couple live electronics shows or just noise shows in clubs. But then I would do this. I was in this kind of critically lauded kind of hip hop crossover group. So it was very kind of schizophrenic. And then Happy Apple happened.